You know that feeling when you're on a team and it's just magic, where everything flows and you're all in sync? And of course, you've probably been on the other kind of team, right? The one that feels like you're just wading through mud every single day. Well, that difference, it isn't just luck. It's something called team dynamics, and it's the secret ingredient we're going to talk about today.
It's a question we've all asked ourselves at some point. Why is it that some groups of really smart, talented people just can't seem to get anything done, while other teams come together and achieve just incredible things? That's the puzzle we're going to solve in this explainer. Okay, let's dive right in. So here's our game plan. First, we'll get clear on what team dynamics even are. Then, we'll look at the 5 key ingredients that every single great team has. After that, we'll walk through the 5 stages that pretty much every team goes through. And finally, we'll talk about the super important role a leader plays in all of this. All right, first things first, let's tackle that big question. What exactly are we talking about when we say team dynamics? Think of it like this. Team dynamics are kind of like the invisible currents running just beneath the surface of a team. They're all those unconscious psychological forces. You know, the mix of personalities, the relationships, the unspoken rules, all the things that really guide how a team behaves and ultimately how well it performs. And the thing is, they're happening whether you pay attention to them or not. So, if these dynamics are the currents, what's actually creating them? Well, it turns out it all boils down to a few really fundamental elements. Okay, so you've got 5 of these essential building blocks. It all starts with trust, because that's what gives people the psychological safety they need to speak up and take risks. Then you've got open communication, which is how you avoid those killer misunderstandings. Of course, you need real collaboration to combine everyone's individual talents into something bigger. Diversity, and we're talking about diversity of thought here, is crucial for coming up with better ideas and not just falling into groupthink. And finally, you need clearly defined roles, so everyone knows exactly what they're supposed to be doing. You get these 5 things right, and you've built a rock-solid foundation. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. Teams don't just pop into existence and start crushing it. No, they go on a pretty predictable journey, a natural progression that moves through 5 very distinct stages. So this is the entire roadmap for that journey: forming, storming, norming, performing, and then adjourning. And honestly, just understanding where your team is on this map is the whole key to helping it move forward. So let's break down each one. So every single team starts right here in the forming stage. You can think of this as the honeymoon phase. You know the stage. Everybody's on their best behavior, super polite, maybe a little uncertain, and they're all just trying to figure out what the project is about and where they fit into the whole thing. And then the storm hits. This is the storming stage. And yeah, it's where reality bites back. Different personalities start to clash, people disagree on how to get things done. It can feel messy. But listen, this stage is absolutely critical. It is not a sign that your team is failing. It's the opposite. It's the team getting real and figuring things out. That friction is actually what makes the team stronger. But if you can get through that storm, you land in the norming stage. This is where you can start to feel things click. The team starts to work through its differences, people begin to actually appreciate each other's strengths, and you establish some ground rules. The cohesion really starts to build here. And this is what it's all about. This leads to the ultimate goal, the performing stage. Now the team is a well-oiled machine. The structure is clear, everyone knows their job, and all that energy is focused on hitting the team's goals. There's real synergy, real autonomy. This, right here, is where the magic happens. Just look at this for a second. The transformation is incredible, right? When you compare the storming stage to the performing stage, it's night and day. You go from friction and competition to synergy and collaboration, from unclear roles to totally clear ones, and from low trust and guarded conversations to high trust and open communication. The big takeaway here is that you can't get to the collaboration of the performing phase without getting through the conflict of the storming phase. And then, for many teams, especially on specific projects, there's a final stage, adjourning. The work is done, the project is complete, and the team breaks up. This can be a really great moment of celebration, and honestly, sometimes a little bit of sadness when a great team has to go its separate ways. Okay, so knowing all this stuff is great, right? But how do you actually use it? Well, this is where the role of the leader becomes absolutely critical. A great leader is really more of a guide, a facilitator through this whole journey. So in the forming stage, they're giving clear direction. During that messy but necessary storming stage, they don't run from the conflict, they lean into it, helping turn arguments into productive discussions. And then as the team starts norming, the leader knows to step back a bit, to empower the team to build that trust and really own its success. And that really is the big payoff. As the research puts it, when you understand and leverage these dynamics, you gain the insight you need to build teams that aren't just high-performing, but are also resilient. Teams that can handle anything that gets thrown at them.
All right, so let's bring this home. Let's make this about you. Because the real power in this whole model is being able to apply it to your own world, right here, right now. So I want you to really think for a second. The team you're on right now, where is it on this map? Are you in that polite forming phase? Or maybe you're stuck in the middle of a tough storming phase? And once you know that, what is the one single thing you can do, whether you're the leader or not, to help your team get to that next stage? That's the question I want to leave you with.